What's going on today, people? In today's video, I'm gonna try to teach you guys how to get the most out of your weapons in Nioh 2. Okay, so first up, for starters, if your weapon has the plus sign, looks like the play sign for a PlayStation with a line on it and it's yellow beside any special effect, you can inherit that special effect to a weapon's empty slot. Every weapon has about 7 slots. So if any of those 7 slots are empty and you have a yellow with a little play sign next to any special effect, it can be inherited into the empty spot. Now, if it's white instead of yellow with 2 lines, it can be inherited to a weapon. If your weapon doesn't already have it yet, it will go into an empty slot. If your weapon does have a special effect with the 2 white lines and the play sign, it can be swapped in for that effect. So as you guys can see, I just swapped in the play sign with the yellow line into my spear and just inherited it. Melee key consumption on critical. So like I said, that spot was empty, but since I had it, I inherited it over to an empty slot. Now my weapon has more special effects on my weapon. So now I'm gonna also swap over lightning, because I'd rather have lightning on this particular spear for the build I'm doing. Like right now it has low attack key consumption, but after I swap it over, it will be lightning. Another thing to note, in order to swap over any effect from one weapon to another, the weapon with the effects you want to swap over has to be max familiarity. It has to be maxed out. If it's not maxed out, it's not gonna work. Also, any special effect you're trying to swap over to another weapon cannot be in any special effect pool on the weapon you already have. So if you want to swap over strong attack damage, you cannot have mid attack damage on your weapon or low attack damage on your weapon, because they're all in the same pool. Same thing with lightning. If I wanted to swap over this lightning, I couldn't have anything else on this weapon that deals elemental damage, or it wouldn't work, because they're all in the same pool. If you guys aren't familiar with what's in the same pool, I would suggest checking Nioh 2 Affects Your Life wiki page. They tell you and explain everything that's in the same pool. So if you got the time to look that up, go ahead. I get on that website all the time. I use it all the time. It's very informational. But anyways, I'm just showing you guys here how after I swapped over the melee key consumption skill, that I can swap it out for whatever skill I want to, like any other skill that's already on my weapon, as long as it's not in the same weapon pool. Excuse me, as long as it's not in the same skill pool as any other effect. Alright, here I'm showing you guys how to remodel your weapon. If you guys didn't know, you can remodel your weapon so that it will scale higher in a specific stat. Each weapon has 3 stats that it scales off of. Spear for itself scales off of Constitution, I believe that's Strength, and Skill. So I can make and remodel my spear to where it will scale in Constitution and Skill higher, and then the scale stat in Strength will be lower. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough gold there to demonstrate it on what it would look like, but as you guys seen on the screen, you've seen the power difference go up on the weapon. Also, something to go over with, same thing with weapons, with ranged weapons. You can do the same thing with ranged weapons as I just did with a spear. If it has a yellow dot, excuse me, a yellow line with a play sign, it can be inherited to another ranged weapon. Same goes for any armor. If you have that on a piece of armor, it can be inherited to another piece of armor. That's how you will fill out every single empty slot on any weapon or armor to get the most damage out of any build you guys are planning on doing. So if you have a piece of armor and it's not filled with skill slots, you're not doing it right. Alright, now here I'm teaching you guys how to soul match your weapon. So if you have a level 160 weapon and it's +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, it can go all the way to +10 currently in this game. So if your weapon's starting out, let's say at +2 or +3, if you take another weapon that's 160 +3 add it to your weapon. That's 160 plus 3. It's gonna bring it up to a 160 plus 4. And then you go from there. You'll add another plus 4 to your plus 4 and bring your weapon to a plus 5. Plus 5 plus 5, bring your weapon to a plus 6. You do this all the way until you get your weapon to a plus 10, which would be the maximum. Let's say you will be able to get the maximum amount of damage out of your weapon by doing that. If you guys also didn't know, you want to definitely roll a scale stat in one of your special effects slots, which will also maximize the damage your weapons are putting out. So if your weapon scales in, let's say, Constitution like my spear does, or skill, you will also want to put a special effect, which would be damage bonus skill A plus, or damage bonus Constitution A plus. Another quick tip for anybody out there, I want to talk about corruption weapons in particular. With corruption weapons, you can do everything I said before to fill out these spots, but you can also have the added benefit of using soul cores. So you can inherit soul cores, like they don't have to be maxed out either. As you can see, I have anima on this soul core. I can switch that over to my weapon. Only corrupted weapons can do this as far as I know. Also, let's say if I did do the anima, let's put that on there. Well, it costs a heap of money, but I believe if you have your soul core maxed out, let's check this to make sure. Yeah, okay, so the higher your soul core, I believe the cheaper the soul matching cost would be. Fortunately, I use a lot of them. Okay, yeah, right here, equipment drop rate yokai shift. I can put that on my weapon, and as you can see, it now has it on my weapon, and it only cost me 3,675 gold to do this. Whereas if it's not all the way maxed out, you can still do it, but it will cost a fucking arm and a leg to do. So I suggest you guys just farm some soul cores and max out your soul core and do it to where it's cheap enough for you to do it with. Also, if you have soul cores, see if I have any. Okay, right there. If it's yellow, it can also do the same thing that a yellow stat would do on a weapon. It can be inherited to a slot, and it will not add that 2 white line with a plus sign on this weapon. It'll just be a straight up slot with it, and once you put it on your weapon, you can also change that to something different. So you don't have to keep equipment drop rate versus yokai. You can change it to like final blow damage, strong attack, key consumption, whatever you want to. Doesn't have to stay equipment drop rate versus yokai. And I can throw that on there. Then I can also throw attack on there, since it has the 2 white lines with the plus sign, and boom, I get attack on my weapon. And just to show you guys what that's gonna look like, I do believe I did a spear right there. Look, okay, look, I have Amrita earn yokai shift and attack yokai shift. That came from me inheriting soul cores. Now I can change that attack yokai shift to whatever stat that I roll, but that Amrita earn yokai shift will stay there unless I inherit something. Let's say maybe attack bonus from stamina from this axe to it, and then it'll change. So that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like this video, consider subscribing to my channel. Also check out some other videos on my channel, pretty helpful. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. And until the next one, it's your boy Shadow, and I'm out.